In a typical Bad Bunny video, Paul the Hammer and Trapper Bill take you safely to and from a particular destination. We can't do that today. Trapper was recently hospitalized and underwent emergency surgery. He will be recuperating for about another month. So to keep from going stir crazy, I resurrected some old videos that weren't always successful and were sometimes embarrassing. One of those is the Crown King Backdoor. Crown King is a small historic mining community nestled high in the Bradshaw Mountains at about 5,771 feet in elevation. The town sits 80 miles north of Phoenix and is a popular day trip or weekend getaway for those seeking cooler mountain air and Old West charm. In this resurrected video, we attempt to take you to Crown King via a challenging and somewhat treacherous back door known as the CK Rock Trail to the off-road community. The trip wasn't exactly successful, and the video was somewhat lacking in content, but there's enough footage to convince you that the Backdoor Trail isn't the best way to reach Crown King. As usual, we departed from Trapper's cabin in the Arcadia district of Phoenix and took I-17 north for about 26 miles, where we exited at the Carefree Highway and headed west for another 17 miles to North Castle Hot Springs Road. We turned right and drove 14 miles to Cow Creek Road. On the way, we transitioned to the Bad Buggy when we ran out of pavement at Betty's Trail Rides. After 9 miles on Cow Creek, we finally reached the infamous CK Rock sign that marks the start of the Crown King Trail. It's there that we begin the treacherous part of our trip, the white knuckle 9 miles to Crown King. The CK Rock Trail appears like the typical Arizona off-road trail, but trust me, it isn't. The trail starts out as a moderate trail, about level 2 on a scale of 10, but it rapidly transitions to a level 7 or 8. With a rock wall on one side and a cliff on the other, some parts of the trail barely accommodate one-way traffic. If you're looking for a challenge, this trail is for you. Many of the rough spots have a moderate go-around, but some don't. If you choose the challenge path, I recommend using a spotter to avoid getting high-centered or even worse, flipped over. After working our way up the trail through some pretty rugged spots, Trapper and I came to a section where the road turned into a creek. I thought we were in the desert, but suddenly our trail turned into a creek. After making sure it wasn't too deep, we entered the crystal clear water. If nothing else, it would cool us off. Oh, this is interesting. A little bit. A little bit too big. Over here a little bit. That was a good one. Yeah. Now we're going down the river without a paddle. But we got four-wheel drive. There used to be a road here somewhere. Or either that or Bill's got us lost again.
Yeah, that could be it. There's his mine.
Oh yeah. Here's the silver mine. it said beware of about 10 different fucking things.
Did it say water?
One of them was a dog.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you don't want to hurt no dog up there.
Oh, can we stay in the river?
Yeah. I got a log across it. We would have.
I mean, this is so smooth here, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think it'll be rough here again real quick. Not rough. Back down in the river.
Yeah, we could hang left here, you know, and go a little further.
Go back down in the river.
I'd say State Route 711, such river water. After emerging from the water, we proceeded up the trail to Crown King. We favored the moderate paths, avoiding the really rough spots wherever possible. We were very proud of ourselves in a Bad Buggy when we arrived safely in Crown King. But that's not the end of the story. We still had to return home via the same route. We thought our return ride down the trail would be a piece of cake. After all, now we were veterans of the trail. It was no longer virgin territory. I was wrong, very wrong. Earlier I mentioned there were spots where one-way travel was barely possible. You know, with a rock wall on the left and a cliff on the right. That would be a very bad place for someone in a pickup truck to get high-centered, especially when many vehicles were coming down the trail at the end of a busy weekend. Just our luck, because that's exactly what happened to the pickup truck in front of us. We spent close to 2 hours trying to get that truck dislodged. Finally, someone brought a big enough truck jack to lift the vehicle. Unfortunately, I lost my cell phone during the ordeal. 30 days later, a mechanic found it while servicing the Bad Buggy. My phone had fallen out of my pocket and lodged itself by the gas tank. It's hard to believe it was still there 30 days later. Of course, by then, I already had a new cell phone. It was a very long ride. We got back home safe and sound. I lost my phone, but I learned to appreciate the front door route to Crown King. Looking forward to our next buggy ride with a fully recovered Trapper Bill. Bye for now. Catch you next time. Since I could only show you a limited amount of video in this episode, I'm including a bonus video of what Trapper and I call the God Spot. It's a beautiful place on the Mogollon Rim, near mile marker 300 on AZ 87, just north of Strawberry, Arizona. We're up on the Mogollon Rim, a little north of Strawberry and Pine. Can you imagine waking up to this every day? Look at this view. Wow. Look at down into the valley. This little rock over here, that's the one that Bill wants to climb out. He's a crazy man.
We could find the one I'm talking about, which I think is about 2 miles that way down the road.
Look at this down here. I just like to be up here at night looking at the Milky Way. Works for me.